This program is brought to you by Emory University.
Well, while I've been at Emory, I've encountered a lot of individuals who are committed to making the world a better place. And whether this is through research, scholarship, or community work, I really respect people who believe that it's possible to cultivate substantial social change. And I'm really committed, I guess, to the feminist praxis that it's really important to do intellectual work, but it's important to take that work outside of the academy and into the world. And so I've met a lot of people at Emory who really care about the work they're doing and who do work to make the world a better place. And I'm committed to doing the same. Before I came to Emory, I went to a very diverse high school called the United World College, 200 students from 90 countries around the world, all about social change. And so when I got to Emory, I started working at the Women's Center my first semester freshman year. And I started learning all about gender equality. I took my first women's studies course, and I just started to really feel at home when I dealt with all those issues, and it just kind of went from there. I joined the President's Commission on the Status of Women and kind of understood gender in the context of the larger university, and just realized that, I mean, women have achieved a lot over the past, I guess, 100 years, but there's still a lot more to go, and I want to be part of that change. The Transforming Community Project is a great initiative. It's a 5-year initiative revolving around discussions of race at Emory. And I got involved my freshman year. I was a participant in a community dialogue meeting. And then that summer, I decided to be a facilitator. So it kind of shifted my perspective within TCP. And soon after, I was invited to serve on the steering committee of the Transforming Community Project and kind of guide the future of the project. And it's just been a phenomenal experience for me, interacting with people from all across the university and having conversations that normally wouldn't occur if these circumstances weren't set up, and just having really important conversations about race at Emory, about race in the South, in the United States. TCP really unearths narratives that have kind of been hidden and people don't talk about. And they say, hey, this is really important, even though it's uncomfortable, I think we should engage in these discussions. And it really does bring people closer together. I would definitely say that the Transforming Community Project has had a deep impact on the Emory community. If I'm riding the shuttle, chances are that 1 out of 10 people has participated in a dialogue group, and you can really talk to them about their experience. And the great thing about the dialogue groups is that I'll probably have had a similar experience, so it automatically connects people who have never met one another and brings them to the same page and allows them to have an open conversation about race, and that's very important. My favorite course while at Emory was a disability studies course taught by Rosemary Garland Thompson, and it was offered by the Women's Studies Department here at Emory. And that course just really made me rethink my understanding of disability. The course really shows you that it is important to focus on race, intersections of race, class, gender, sexuality, but also ableism, and I think that's something that we often don't think about in society. So an example is if a disabled person can't walk upstairs and needs to take the ramp, is it that person's fault, or has society been structured for able-bodied people? And so instead of placing the focus on the disabled individual, we learn to really focus on the structures in society that have really been built to accommodate certain people and exclude other people. And for me, that was really formative, because I hadn't thought about disability in that way, and I hadn't thought about the various ways that disabled people are discriminated against on a daily basis. So it really shifted my understandings. It shifted my lens, and I think I'll definitely look at the world differently, and just things that I have control over structuring, I will structure differently to accommodate disabled individuals. This summer, I'll be working for a feminist nonprofit in New York City called the Sadie Nash Leadership Project, and that organization mentors teenage girls in New York and teaches them about identity and empowerment and activism and just what they can do in the world when they're empowered. So I'm extremely happy about that. It's like women's studies in action. So after that, I hopefully will be back in Atlanta working, and during that time I'm applying to JD PhD programs. On the JD side, I want to focus on human rights, and the PhD side on women's studies. So that is my plan.
The preceding program is copyrighted by Emory University.